My name is Nadia, and in this short video, I am going to be using a prop called FeetUp. FeetUp has just recently come into Australia and New Zealand, able to ship nice and easily. I've actually had my feet up for a few years now. I use it for my yoga practice. I use it to create drills for inversions. Also just creating a program at the moment just with working out, doing weight resistance using the FeetUp. But in this short video, I'm going to share with you of just the movements that I first start off with when I have a back injury. So I've been dealing with a bit of a back injury this year, and I've been using this lovely prop for help with it. So if you've got any questions, just email me. Otherwise, hope you find the video helpful and informative. Enjoy. Come down onto your knees, walking the knees out and extending the arms onto the feet up. Drawing up the pelvic floor as you allow the chest to drop down towards the floor. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Keeping the engagement of the core, engaging the shins into the floor. And just go as deep as it feels comfortable for you, as it'll be different for everyone. Connecting with the breath. Now slowly come up, walk the knees in, take the elbows onto the edge of the feet up, pressing the palms together, extending the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Now drop the thumbs to the back, extending the tailbone up, and then pushing and tucking the tailbone. Moving the thumbs to the back as you drop the chest down and extending the fingertips up towards the ceiling as you push up. Keep that movement happening. And just moving at your pace and engaging your core as you draw up on the inhale as we lengthen the front of the body, and then exhale as we drop, as we pull in. Now drop the chest down and hold and breathe. Keep engaging the pelvic floor muscle, the mula bandha, and just allow the body to just come into the shape that it feels comfortable. It's all about working with our bio-individual self. Keep checking in with yourself. And then inhale, come up. Hold for a few breaths here, and then slowly walk the knees back in. And just allow the hips, just wiggle the hips from side to side, just to release anything. And just check in to see how the body's doing, how the back is doing. It's all about creating movement, bringing movement in. Now coming up, you might need to assist the leg forward and coming into a lunge. First, just come up and get yourself ready and sorted. Maybe pet your dog as I did. And just allow the hip flexors to release, and then come down onto your forearms onto the feet up. Allow the hips to surrender to the floor. Breathing, connecting. And then come up. And again, just allow and just create a slight tilt of the pelvis, still drawing up the pelvic floor. Maybe come back down. And then come back up. Think about standing up tall, so what we call chest proud. So not letting the belly hang. We still want a nice engagement of the core as you still draw up the pelvic floor and draw in the lower abdominal. Now creating some movement as we push the hips back and then let them drop forward. And just create movement with what works. Here I'm slightly keep my knee bent as I extend back, as this is where I feel it. So I just go to my place where I don't put any tension. I don't let ego drive me to push further. And then maybe settle here for a few breaths. And then step the foot back. And then just swivel the hips from side to side before you do the other side again. And just checking in. Each leg will be different with the back. And then step through, maybe assisted. Coming down onto your forearms. And just allowing the hips to drop. Keep connecting, keep breathing. Always rechecking in to make sure we're present. Breathing into the areas of the body where we feel tension. We focus sometimes too much on the back and not think about how the hips affect the back, the front hip flexors, the glutes, our core, or even our back muscles. We think sometimes we take that focus onto the abs. Hopefully by now you've come up and you're extending and you're creating that chest proud, tucking the tailbone, still engaging the deep inner core. And then starting that movement. Again, the leg doesn't have to come completely straight, just moving to what works for you. But working with your body. Each side will be different. So treat it as an individual self. And then step back, swivel the hips a bit. And then our next move is coming up. We're going to come into squat. So stepping one foot at a time. Take as wide as you need. You want the heels a bit onto the floor, maybe the feet slightly turned out. Maybe start off with just pushing the hands onto the feet up, lifting up the chest. Don't allow the knees to droop in here. So we want to make sure the knees, what we call valgus knees, which is that drooping in of the knees, we want to push the knees out. So I'm going to hold the outside edge here of the seat and push my elbows into my knees into my elbows, just to help. And then just try to let the hips drop a bit. Again, that releasing through the hips will help create space in the back. Now, if it doesn't feel comfortable for you to come into this position, don't. Just skip anything that your body's not ready. Maybe create a bit of movement there as you lift the hips and drop them back up and down. Or maybe stay static. And then coming up, and then I'm going to come back down. And this time I'm just going to come flat onto the floor. Yeah. Have my little friend Elsa dogs joining me. Whenever it comes to the floor, it's playtime. And then from here, push the tops of the feet, push into the floor, hands by the shoulders, roll up. Make sure the core is engaged, roll back down. And then roll back up, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift and down. Using your core and your back muscles. And with the core back muscles engaged, we also want the legs slightly engaged, not tensed up, and breathing. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you come down. And that is it for this little sequence here. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me. You can do a few more of these. And if you want to come into child's pose or anything else that feels right, please do as you feel free. Thanks for joining me.